All right, everybody, peace. This is the Ice Cold RPG Chief Supreme Grandmaster Edition finale. It's about to go down. Ice Cold Carter's going to be fighting Molar Mouth Ricky, and the people are lining up, getting ready to watch the fight. So this is going to be the big shebang here. Waiting for other people to come in. I will be right back in a second. I'm sitting on my deck, so I got to get some tea so I don't end up a skeleton out here frozen to death. So I'll be right back. If you all could give a recap of what happened last week, I'll be right back.
Okay.
There's animals in the background?
Yes, they are.
There's geese. I
All right.
live in these tree-lined streets out here. So
okay. Oh, Dad. Last week. Oh, we got busy last week.
Yes, we found the Bloody Fang Stone, which was Molar Mouth Ricky is the stone, but he can like personify into that creature that he is. And what's her name? Laquana was related to the vampire family.
Oh, right.
Who was the old lady and the toddler, but they were actually very old, and they were her parents, and gave us a stone to give to Ice Cold.
Right. We have to talk about how we got busy on those vampires and just straight through there after we had the magic peach that heals.
The zombies on the zombie containment floor.
Yeah. And then we had the apple, the bloody apple that was actually their relative, their uncle, in an apple form. That we destroyed with the healthy peach. I'm still holding on to the healthy peach, by the way. We probably gonna need that. Yeah, the zombie floor. We got busy on that floor. We went through it, and we came back through it. So we got busy on that floor because I ain't gonna front. I thought the zombies had us. I thought the zombies had, especially the second time when I was like, wait, we got to go back through there again.
Yeah.
But that's when some of the reinforcements came through, which was good. And I need those reinforcements to come through today because I don't know what's about to happen right now. So we got back, we got the Bloody Fang Stone, and we back at Ice Cold Carter's dojo where he's about to fight.
Yes, Molar Mouth Ricky, which I came in my fight watching clothes, not my fight team clothes. So hopefully we don't have to jump in.
Ideally we would literally just be watching a match between Ice Cold Carter but we know that ain't gonna happen. We know something about to go down wrong.
That's exactly why I wore my wooden shoes today. I kept my wooden shoes on. I wore my wooden shoes.
That's smart. I'm gonna still hold on to mine and be ready for that because listen, we already got thrown that twist where like the bloody fang was actually him. The stone was actually him. So I don't know what this coming from left field that he gonna bring on this time. All I know is I'm holding on to the peach. You got the wooden shoes, and we just keep looking around everywhere, make sure everything all right. Because something about to happen. We ain't just watching a kung fu fight. That ain't happening.
Exactly.
I wish, but yeah, nah, it's not. He talking about tea. I wish I had some tea, but I'm inside. So folks, thank you for hanging with us as we go and combat the forces of evil in the world and everything with our characters and everything. Yeah. We wrapping up this campaign, but as was stated, once we finish this campaign, we're gonna be jumping into something else, and I'm excited because I don't even know what it is, but I'm just excited to just jump into another world and role play and do what we do. I'm also kind of excited just to get to the conclusion of this to see what it really is. You know what I'm saying? Like what the final the final tier of this whole thing is. But I am really excited about seeing the other games that we'll be playing and stuff on here. You know, look over here, make sure I'm still at work. So I'm in the cut. um, for the day. You know. All right, is he making the tea? Is he picking the leaves? He picking the leaves. Did he go to he go to Asia and go pick some like
I would not be surprised if he did.
you know what I'm saying? It'd be kind of an ice cold Carter thing to do too. It's like, yeah, hold up, I'll be right back. I gotta go to Asia to pick up some tea leaves. Squeeze them out with my hands and stuff, make my tea. It looks like and from the way it's looking right now, it looks like it's just like you and me gonna hold it down unless we get somebody else. So we're gonna have to figure out to do it like we did the last time because last time was crazy because that was probably one of the largest. Well, besides the luchadors in the beginning, but the zombie one, that was pretty much the largest fight scene that we had, and it was only you and I there. Everybody else was doing their thing. All the parts of the mall. You know what I'm saying? While we stuck in a room with hella zombies who wanted to eat us up, and crazy vampire apples and little kid vampires, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Let me make sure that my stuff is right. You know what? I need to open up the next. I need to make sure that I have the manual because I want to make sure I have all of my moves, on deck because I know he about to.
Yes. Good idea. Let me open that too, so I know exactly what I need to be doing in this fight.
Yeah, because last time that came through love when I realized I had that particular ability. Right, come on, I know you in my that's top of 5 billion different things here. Good morning. All right, there we go.
All
right, let me go to my techniques.
All right.
Now.
Yeah, you're on that page too.
BD. Hold on. Let me let BD in. Hey, greetings.
Peace family.
Peace. You gonna play Jenny for us today, man?
I want to be singing now. Can I be singing now? Or you want me to be Jenny?
Yeah, be Jenny for right now, just cause he hasn't been on the adventure with us. All right. Or you could Belay, or Bobo.
Okay. Yeah, let me be Signal. Let me like character.
Who's Signal?
Signal Blackfoot.
Oh well, yeah, that's Belay. He changed his name to Belay Blackwood.
Oh, okay.
Well, cool. All right. So everybody's there. Ricky steps up out of the. So it's the Bloody Fang Stone. Ricky steps up out of that. Everybody, they shocked. Like, what the hell? Some people saying, man, that was a nice stunt, a nice trick. Must be a trick of the light. And he's just standing there, kind of dancing around, punching, waiting on Ice Cold Carter. Ice Cold Carter, everybody's filing into the dojo. His dojo's so big, it's fitting probably about 2,000-3,000 people watching. And Ice Cold Carter saunters out of his office. He looks at everybody, he flexes. Then everybody starts clapping. Anybody who's not clapping, he looks at them. They start clapping too. Then he walks up and stands about 2-3 inches from Molar Mouth Ricky, and they're staring each other down. Molar Mouth Ricky smiles, his whole mouth just all molars, grinning. Ice Cold Carter's looking stone faced. He's not smiling at all. He got his shades on, his gym shoes, his sleeveless karate suit. Molar Mouth Ricky got on a white tuxedo with tails. Molar Mouth. All right, so everybody's like, yeah, get ready, fight. People screaming from the audience. And then everybody gets quiet. And in walks this tall woman, white woman, dressed in all white. And with a little boy. He's about 5. He's dressed in all white. You see his shadow coming through. His shadow looks like a big giant man. It's so big, it's making the room dark as he walks past. So Ice Cold Carter looks over at him. Hey, little fella. You want your mama to sit you over here? He says, this is not my mother. This is my wife, fool. Ice Cold Carter looks at everybody, just kind of shrugs, then looks back at Molar Mouth Ricky. Molar Mouth Ricky said, that's my, now Molar Mouth Ricky's black. That's my sister and my brother-in-law back there. All right. So everybody fight. They haven't seen Ice Cold Carter fight in a long time. They know it's going to be a spectacle. So Ice Cold Carter does kind of like this to Ricky, let him go first. And Molar Mouth Ricky, he does a quick punch to Ice Cold Carter's chest. Ice Cold Carter kind of slides back. He doesn't move his feet. He just kind of just slides back from flexion and moves about an inch away from the punch, so the punch misses him. Then he hammer fist down on Molar Mouth Ricky's fist, and his wrist bends until his palm touches his forearm. He screams. He kind of backs up from Ice Cold Carter, and Ice Cold Carter starts coolly walking towards him. Molar Mouth Ricky throws a kick. Ice Cold Carter throws a kick and knocks Molar Mouth Ricky's kick down. Then he backflips and kicks Molar Mouth Ricky in the chin with both of his feet. And 2 of his bottom molars fly out his mouth. Like that. Ice Cold Carter catches him. Then he tosses him over to a girl that's sitting watching, and she faints, swooning, she faints. Oh, Ice Cold Carter. Yeah, he keeps walking towards Ricky, all cool. Then Ricky, his mouth opens up until his chin is touching his groin, and the top of his head, is leaning back until he's looking up at the sky behind him at the ceiling. And then he leaps at Ice Cold Carter and chomps down on Ice Cold Carter's shoulder. Ice Cold Carter kind of grunts, and then he flexes, and Molar Mouth Ricky flies off. His teeth, about 10 teeth fly out his mouth, all molars, of course, and they kind of hit the wall like bullets. Then Ice Cold Carter looks over at his squad. He said, I got to get that fixed in the morning. And then keeps walking towards Molar Mouth Ricky. Molar Mouth Ricky's like, he don't want no more. Ice Cold Carter said, oh yeah, you got to get some more. So Molar Mouth Ricky jumps down and bites a chunk out of Ice Cold Carter's leg. He just, not his leg, but the pants. He just missed his leg. Bites the chunk out, spits the pants out of his mouth. Then Ice Cold Carter's pants just stitch themselves back together. He's like, boy, my mama made this karate suit. She the best tailor in the world. So this suit, it repairs itself and it can't get dirty, boy. Then he smacks the hell out of Molar Mouth Ricky. Molar Mouth Ricky flies into the wall, and he walks towards him again. Molar Ricky, I give up. He said, say that again. He said, I give up. Ice Cold Carter said, no. He collar ties him, punches him. Molar Mouth Ricky flies up, and as he's flying up to the ceiling, Ice Cold Carter says, Praying Mantis! And then he goes like this. And as he falls down, he hits Molar Mouth Ricky in the neck, and knocks his head completely off. So his head falls, boom. His body flies over, boom, over there. Then he looks at the rest of the family in white. He says, anybody else? Anybody else? And they look and say, Ice Cold Carter, he did get you. Say, where? Look at your shoulder. So it's no blood on it or anything, but blood, it's a sleeveless, Ice Cold Carter was a sleeveless karate suit, kind of like this doesn't have sleeves, right? But it's white, and blood's trickling down his arm. That boy did get me a little bit. And then the little boy jumps and grabs Ice Cold Carter and starts pulling him towards the stone, the Bloody Fang Stone, which is sitting about 10 feet away. Ice Cold Carter's trying not to get dragged. The little boy is dragging him. What are y'all going to do?
We got to get busy. This is not even discussion. We got to get busy. So let's just get busy. Okay, let me look at my techniques. I gotta make sure I get all my techniques right. Hold up. We go in this.
Do you know what Relay can do?
He has bow and arrows, blow darts, and slingshots.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what? I think I want to try to hit this guy with a bow.
You're gonna try to use the bow. What are you gonna do? A life?
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I'm waiting to Belay hit him with the bow, right? I'm gonna wait him to get off the shot with the bow. All right. I'm gonna see what Candy Rain's gonna do, and I might, depending on what she's gonna do, my order of events will come after the bow or after.
Okay.
I'm gonna charge them. But I'm gonna see if Belay can take him off with the bow first.
So for the fight, I brought my fan blade. So I'm gonna use the Merciless Tail Divine Retribution. I'm gonna just be rapid firing these fan blades.
Okay. So she's going to fan blades, and Belay Blackfoot is shooting an arrow, right?
Correct.
All right. So
I'm going to stand on deck and hold.
Okay, and you're right. You're holding, getting ready to see if you're going to charge or when you're going to charge.
Right.
All right. So Belay Blackfoot.
Yes, sir.
What's your approach?
My approach is Yang.
It's the number. It should be a number.
2.
2.
2.
All right. Throw.
All right.
You got a dice?
I got it.
All right, throw.
All right, I rolled a 4.
All right, so you shoot, and it's speeding towards the little boy. Then it's about to hit him right in his head, and his wife catches him.
Damn.
She breaks that arrow. Said, take him, baby. And he's dragging him towards the stone. Ice Cold Carter can't shake loose. His punches ain't doing nothing. He's dragging him towards the stone.
Let's go. What up, Candy? Hit him.
What's your approach?
4.
What song we going for? What song?
Yeah, what song?
What song? Come on, bring the song.
What'd you roll?
All right, I rolled a 6.
Uh-oh, you dropped a bomb on me. That was a bomb. So you throw the fan cuts Ice Cold Carter even deeper. So it hits his arms, and now he's bleeding worse.
We look at amateurish right now, and I don't want to be the trilogy of the amateur stuff. But I'm gonna do the yak. Take a sip with the yak, and I just go to barrel, try to hit the yak charge. Yeah, right between them. I'm trying to break them up. All right, let's go.
Let's see what happens.
Big money.
What are you? 4? Uh-oh.
Huh?
What'd you roll?
What's that?
What'd you roll?
A 4.
And what's your approach?
4.
Oh shit. Okay.
5.
So you hit when you charging, you were trying to charge the little boy. You charge, but your hand, you had the cup of yak in your hand. That hand hits the wife, and then you charge and hit the boy. The boy flips off. Boom. Ice Cold Carter slides towards the stone, and the blood just misses the stone. The stone, as he's getting closer, the stone is pulsing faster, but he just misses it. Then it goes. Ice Cold Carter starts to get up. Said, "Boy, where the little boy at?" I agree. So now what you gonna do? Anybody?
Who take it out? Who take it out? Okay, I charge some over there.
You got the wife.
I'm gonna swing on the boy with my machete because I just charged through them, so I'm kind of close over there. So I'm gonna take the machete. Yeah.
All right, so
damn,
what'd you get?
6.
So you swing your machete and you hit one of the guests, and you cut the guest. They had a thick old Rick Ross beard, and you cut the guest, and now they're clean shaven. And then, God damn it, I worked 3 years to build this beard. Ah, shit, and it's on the ground. Anybody else?
Okay, I'm gonna try to leopard pounce to the old lady and like detain her.
She ain't old. She's 100
She's
years
ancient.
old, but she doesn't look old. She looks like 30. So you're gonna try to hit her?
Detain her. I'm gonna do the leopard pounce, the one projectile, and come to her, and then like tie her up.
Tie her up with what?
Nice.
With the string that's connected to my.
Okay.
Tomahawk.
All right, well, go ahead.
Okay.
What's your approach? Hold on.
Our approach is 4.
Right, and you have to. That is. You talking about the one where you follow it, right?
Yeah, the leopard pounce. It's the black one.
Right. Okay. So. And you have a 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta roll below it.
Let's go.
3.
Okay, so you slide over to it, you throw the tomahawk, you slide to her, and then you wrap it around her neck. Okay, so you have her detained for a while. She starts to struggle, and then she puts her foot down. You feel her starting to pull you. Anybody else?
All right.
Well, I'm gonna try to hit her with my tranquilizer. My
dart?
Blow dart, yeah.
You're gonna try to use the tranquilizer dart. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
That's good, look. Come on, we can do this. We gotta get him.
And your style is the what?
My style. Hold on, let me see.
Falcon? Yeah, it's Falcon.
I wrote a 6.
Yeah, it is.
You wrote a what?
A 6.
Okay, you jacked that up. So you
Yeah, I know.
And the dude who he's trying to pick his beard up and put it back on, and your tranquilizer hits him. He drops the beard back on the floor. He's just out. And so now it's the woman's turn. She kind of shakes Candy Rain. Candy Rain flies off, and she flies off into Don Daddy Flow. Don Daddy Flow kind of catches her, boom.
Right.
But you catch her before she hits her head. And then Ice Cold Carter runs at the woman, does a flying side kick towards her. When he does a flying side kick, the son, as he's flying through the air, the son grabs him, slams him down to the, well, not son, the husband slams him onto the floor. Oh, like, hey, little boy, you better stop it. Why is the little boy fighting this hard for his mama? Yeah. He says, that's my wife. And he punches Ice Cold Carter, and Ice Cold Carter goes through the floor down to the first floor.
Oh no.
Now yo, I'm y'all. What y'all want to
do? Man, kill that noise, man. I'm charging him again. Okay,
go ahead.
That's what I'm going to do. All right. I got a 3.
Got a 3. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That charge, let's see here. And your approach was 4?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're supposed to roll higher. That's the end.
Yeah. I know. I know. I was hoping that you forgot your system.
So you charge, you hit him, boom, and you knock him right into the hole. He goes down there. Where Ice Cold Carter went through.
Okay. All right.
So now the wife, she starts coming at you, and as she's running at you, right behind you, you hear boom. You look over your shoulder and you see that the boy has jumped up with Ice Cold Carter on his shoulder. He's walking towards the stone.
Okay, we gotta keep away from the stone.
At Don Daddy Flow. What you gonna do, Candy Rain?
I'm gonna throw the stone.
You gonna pick up the stone and throw it?
Yeah, that's what we do. Say it only weighs like a pound or something.
Yeah, who you gonna throw it at?
I'm gonna throw it at the guy that's knocked out with the dirt in his neck. He can just hold it for a second.
Okay, go ahead, roll it. Go ahead. What?
Hold that.
I rolled a 2.
You got a 2. Okay. So you throw it. He's unconscious on the floor. You throw the stone. He's like unconscious like this. His hands like this on the floor, and the stone lands right in his unconscious palm.
Hold that.
All right. So now, anybody else? You got something to do?
Wait.
Belay?
Okay, so the wife is still charging at Don Daddy.
Yeah, she's charging at Don Daddy Flow.
Yeah,
and the boy got Ice Carter on his shoulder. And,
yes.
And where is he going?
He's walking toward? He was walking towards the stone. Now he's walking towards the dude with the clean shave.
Okay. All right. So
you know what? I'm going to be patient and just wait.
You're gonna wait. Okay.
Yeah, let's use some patience. I'm gonna wait. And,
okay, so he just said he ain't doing nothing. He gonna wait. All right, go ahead. All right.
Nah, freak that. I'm smacking the little boy. I'm just gonna smack him.
All right, go ahead and roll.
I'm just smacking him. That's all I'm doing.
You're not using technique. You're just hauling off.
Nah. I'm just bringing back my granddaddy's, who was the pimp. I'm just bringing back the gorilla pimp slap. That's what we doing. All right, let's go. You know, blowing on dice don't really work for me, but I'll do it anyway. I got a 4.
Wow. Okay. So you slap him. Boom. Right. Ice Cold Carter flies off his shoulder and lands on his feet. He's kind of shaking his head, shook up. The little boy flies, and he flies into the dude with the stone. Boom! Hits him in the head with his head. Knocks his hair off. The dude had a nice afro, but now he bald head and clean shave. He flies, and the little boy flies and lands on top of him. So the wife looks. No! So now she stops running towards a life, and she's running towards the stone.
I'm gonna shoot her in the leg. I'm shooting her in the leg with an arrow.
Okay.
Please shoot her in the leg, because the last time Belay shot when I was in the frame, I got shot. So please,
I did too.
Right? We
All
got
right,
the peach
so you shooting her in the leg. Now you can make your arrow split into 3 arrows at one time. You can do more than just hit the leg.
I can. If I do that and I miss, I could do more. I could do more damage.
Well, that's how belay hit multiple people. Yes.
Yeah.
But if you don't miss,
you know what? I'm gonna just do a regular shot and
all right.
see if that works. All right.
It ain't gonna work. These are the bosses, yo.
I rolled a 2.
Roll a 2. Okay, what's your approach?
Yang.
No, the number.
It's 2.
Wow. Okay, so you just did regular, but now you can change the direction of your arrows when you shoot arrows. Okay, regular arrow. So you shoot, you hit her in the leg. It goes through her leg. Now, where you want to hit at?
Bring it back. Bring it back.
I need to bring it back and
the same arrow. It can change direction.
What I wanted to go towards now that it's gone through her, it needs to go towards the direction of the boy.
Okay, so it goes to her leg. And now it's going towards the boy,
and it's gonna hit him right in the foot and stick him in place so he can't move.
Okay, it goes through.
And so now while that's going on, I'm gonna go ahead and retrieve the bloodstone.
You're gonna run and grab the bloodstone.
Yep.
Okay, because it's sitting on the floor.
Yeah. So I run and grab the bloodstone, and then I'm going.
Give the ice cold Carter.
Yeah, I'm gonna run back to the squad where they at and hand it the ice cold Carter. I ain't gonna risk throwing it. I'm gonna just run real quick, hand it over.
You hand it the ice cold Carter,
yeah,
and it looks like he's a Harlem Globetrotter because it slides up that arm, and as he's sliding up the arm, the blood is disappearing.
No.
Then it falls to the floor. As it falls to the floor, the boy stops screaming in pain. The woman stops screaming in pain. They start laughing.
It's a cursed stone.
You did it.
You
did it, Belay.
It's a cursed stone.
And Belay throws up and says, "Hey, I did something." Right.
Right. No, I now think that we transferred the curse.
Anybody want to know
Ice Cold?
Anybody want to know what happened? Ice Cold, like, what the hell? Why they so happy? And why you cheering, Belay?
I think Belay made him Molar Mouth Ricky's. He took his position, and Belay helped.
Mm-hmm.
So, are y'all gonna ask anybody?
Yeah, what's up? Why y'all happy? We talk to the woman, like what's going on here for real? What's going on?
You talk to the wife, right?
Yeah.
She says, all we needed was some of ice cold Carter's blood to feed the stone. And now and forevermore, vampires can walk in the light.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
Nah.
You have like, yeah.
We both looking at Buddha like, yo.
You have allowed vampires to walk in the day, and you have caused the zombie apocalypse. Thank you all.
Nah, forget this. Listen. First of all, I got the peach. The peach got to go in the blood. First of all, I'm gonna go with the ice cold collar and say, "Yo, take a bite of this peach."
He said, "Man, I don't like peach. You know, I just like cheesecake."
But this is a cheesecake peach. I heard they get some kind of mix up on it. I don't know.
Well, you better be telling the truth. I'm gonna whoop that ass. Give me that peach, boy.
I mean, that's what I heard. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'll take the ass with my here. Let's see if this what he do.
Give me that peach. He eats the peach. He said, "Why is that no goddamn cheesecake?" He throw it at you.
I gotta catch it.
And it heals back up. And then the vampires like, no, they start crying. now, and then they just kind of scurry out of the school. Except Molar Mouth Ricky. Molar Mouth Ricky is just unconscious.
We still got the Fang Stone still here? They left that or they took that?
No, the Fang Stone, Molar Mouth Ricky's there, so the Fang Stone's there because that's actually Molar Mouth.
Right.
We still got to do it.
He's laying there, so Belay, you gonna stab Molar Mouth Ricky with an arrow or something?
I don't know.
We got the wooden shoes. Candy Rain.
Oh yeah.
So what you gonna do?
I'm gonna start stomping them.
So you stomp Molar Mouth Ricky, and because he was, even though he's unconscious, he's smiling, and all the molars had regrown in his mouth. But you stomp out the molars, and then after the molars stomp out, his jaw kind of goes offline, then his head flattens, then his body just kind of dissolve, and then you look over at the stone, and it starts to shrink. So it was the size of a basketball, now it's the size of a softball. What you gonna do? You keep stomping?
I mean, I got to, because we don't want vampires in the daylight and the zombie apocalypse.
So you stomping, and people are screaming, they horrified, and his head is just crushing. It's about the size of a pancake, and his head is flat. But now you see all the molars in one row, because his head is so flat. So all the molars are right there, and his body is just almost dissolved. And now the Bloody Fang Stone is the size of a baseball. Then it becomes the size of a marble. Okay. And then it's just gone. And so is Molar Mouth Ricky, except one molar is stuck there. The molars that were in the wall, they all gone. There's one molar on the floor.
All right.
You put that in your pocket, Belay?
Do we need that? Like, I don't know if that's a woman.
I don't know. It could be some use down the line.
It could be of use
down the line. We never know.
All right,
you know. That's why I'm carrying around a peach.
Use it as put it in my slingshot. You know, that might work.
Okay, so Belay puts it in his pocket.
Okay.
And so then he go, Belay's mouth sides are hurting. Oh shit! Oh, and then he smiled, and now his mouth is full of foam.
I should have took it.
And you pat your pocket, Belay. The molar is gone.
So now I'm
I need some help, y'all. My mouth full of molars.
Yo, here, eat this. Look, you gotta eat the peach.
Give me the peach.
Just take a bite of it. Just
all right.
Take a bite of the peach. It's a healing peach.
And it's a big old molar shape right there. And and then the molar, it starts to bleed bad. And then it just dissolves out his mouth. And now that molar that he bit with, now he got molars, he only got a bite with one too. And then all of those molars, they start to just bleed. It's just blood dripping down your face. And then your teeth are normal again.
Okay.
You got a bloody mouth, but your teeth are normal now. Huh?
What happened to the molar? Is it back in my pocket?
It's gone.
It's gone.
Okay, it's gone. All right. So
let's
talk to the ice cold.
Molar Mouth Ricky, he's in their family. He's a vampire too.
Oh, I know he's a vampire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. See, he wasn't here last week. We didn't fully.
Yeah.
Debrief you. Yeah, these all vampires. We kicking with. Yeah, I guess that wasn't important. That was important information that we forgot to pass on.
All good.
All right. So what's up with Ice Cold? What's up with Ice Cold? How are you looking?
The vampire, except Ice Cold Carter. So now, Ice Cold Carter, like, man, y'all saved the day. Y'all saved the day. I already gave y'all your van, didn't it? Your bus, didn't
it?
Yeah.
And your money, didn't it?
Yeah. You know,
I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and make y'all my regular squad, and put y'all in my movie that's coming up.
That's right.
In about 3 months.
Yes.
As long as everybody, because Belay is elated.
I might have a problem a little bit next month.
Mm-hmm.
I have a marriage that I'm supposed to attend, be a part of. Or,
we can make the marriage part of the movie.
all right, but those people they related to the wife.
Oh, wait a minute. So that girl a vampire?
Yeah.
Oh no, I guess you're gonna have to have a nighttime marriage. Look like y'all foiled they moved to try to be in the daytime. So I guess you gotta have a night marriage, but that's cool. That's cool,
I'm gonna hold on to this peach though. You know what I'm saying?
Treat her right. Treat her right. You know what I mean?
I don't know about that.
You don't want her to wake up at night mad at you. So treat her right. All right, so that is the finale to the Ice Cold RPG Chief Supreme Grandmaster Edition No Guns Pagoda adventure.
That's what's up, yo. I enjoyed this show. I really enjoyed it.
Now, and y'all did well. Starting next week, we're going to be doing post-apocalypse.
Yes, let's go.
So, the setting, Yomi was already trying to get the information. The setting is
good.
The game is called 4EV4 Friends. Forever Friends, right? And in it, the Forever Friends were robots that served humanity. They did everything. They babysat, they were drivers, they worked at restaurants, they did everything. Forever Friends Corporation had created these robots that they could do anything. They were baristas, you name it. And they created an AI to make those robots even better. And that AI became sentient. And then the AI that people are arguing over, like we do now, about AI art, AI, the writing programs. Is it ethical? Is it legal? Is it this and that? And the AI looked at these people arguing and some people fighting over it. And they said, human beings are not good things. They need to go. And so the AI decided humans needed to go. But every home, when it decided, about 99% of homes in the world had the Forever Friends, some Forever Friend robot in the home, at least one. But they were also very inexpensive. So middle class people, some poor people could afford a Forever Friends. And you know how even poor folks do, shoot. It's like wearing they spend all their money to get some Yeezys. Well, they would spend all their money to get some Forever Friends. Forever Friends had replaced Uber Eats and all of that because they delivering the food and they'll never mess your order up and deliver on time. So they were everywhere. And that was the problem when they decided it's time for us to go. So the first thing they did was take out the military because the military had them operating their artillery. They had military drones from Forever Friends. And those drones attacked people. The artillery attacked. That was the first wave. Second wave, nuclear bombs went off after they got rid of the military. They did so much. When I'll send you all the game late this week. I have the timeline of everything that went on. Right. Well, you go years later, the machines have taken over. And you all, are living in this changed world so the machines didn't try to kill everybody because they needed people to work their factories to, manufacture some more of them, clean up and stuff like that. So they allow a few humans to live as slaves, but you all live free outside of the cities. The cities are devastated. Some cities you may be able to go to, and it's okay because they don't patrol most of the cities anymore. They don't patrol looking for humans because they decimated most of them or enslaved them. But when you do encounter one of the forever friends, you better get ready to run and hide or fight. Or both. That's the world that you are in. And we will go from there. So I'll send you all the game probably by Friday at the latest. You all can make your character if you want, or once again, I'll have pre-made characters and y'all can tweak those characters, change them in however you want. It's a pretty simple system. You'll see it has several pages, but most of those pages is lore, which is building the world.
Okay.
The rules is pretty short.
Is this another system that you developed?
Yes.
Of course. Yeah, that's what's up.
What I want to do with other independent games, they have to be simple, and a lot of people are making 400-page games.
Yeah, they are.
Because they're trying to keep up with Dungeons and Dragons. That's very difficult, and you don't have to have a difficult game to make it meaningful. It's how it's played and how it's GM'd, right? So that's been the issue of finding other people's games. And I'm trying to, if I can find, but it's still the same syndrome, trying to find games made by Black people or at least, brown people, and making these crunchy, and crunchy means complex, y'all.
Yeah, they are.
These crunchy ass 3, 4, even 1,000-page games.
Yeah, there's a few I saw that I was really interested at first, and then I just saw their whole system, and I'm just like, I'm not dumb. I know I'm not dumb, but that system is
right.
It's too much. It's too much.
Even if it's worded well, if it's not worded well and it's long, it's just hell no.
Right. So what ends up happening is a lot of these games, I honestly just are interested in for the concept, or even the background lore, in that game. But like the system itself sucks, and I'm just like, I know I couldn't find anybody else that would want to play this because I don't want to learn this whole system myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, that's what's up. That's good.
So get ready. Those out there watching, get ready. On Instagram, we were followed by a certain celebrity in role-playing game circles.
Yes.
It's a sister. She calls herself Cypher of Tyr, TYR. She's well known, and her and her group are creating a game, Into the Motherlands.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, when that's done, if it's a simple system that you can grab quickly and learn like that, then that's one we're going to play. We'll probably play Kikanga, the second edition. So the second edition is going to be using dice. The first one, we purposely didn't use dice because we wanted to be absolutely different from Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
So when I first made the system, I made it diceless. It had no, was still diceless to use cards, but it had no random generator at all.
Right.
So Milton was like, man, we got to have some kind of random generator. I said, oh, no, we don't. But, he's like, come on, man, and his son was, you got to have something. So I said, okay, I'll concede that one. But we're not going to use dice. We're going to use cards. So we did it with that, and it uses a blackjack system. So I wanted it to be simple. I remember, and it is, but somebody wrote, like, man, this crunchy as hell. I said, crunchy, I was trying not to make it crunchy. And so I analyzed it myself and looked and said, well, when you use cards, that is more strategic. And in it being more strategic, it can't have fast action and stuff like that. You're thinking and strategizing.
Right.
And so it's cool, but it's not. And that's probably why he felt it was crunchy, because it wasn't moving. The combat didn't move fast. But neither does, combat in Dungeons and Dragons. That is long. You may have a fight that lasts 2 hours.
Yep.
It's like, God damn. Yeah. We used to play, we would meet and play for 4 hours. When I was in high school, we had a role-playing club. And we decided, of course, we started with Dungeons and Dragons. That was the thing, the game. And I started noticing out of the 4 hours, it was going on forever, the campaign, because each fight was 2 hours long.
Yeah.
I said, man, we can't do this no more. And that's what led me to finding other games. So the next game that I found was the Marvel superhero role-playing game. And that game is actually probably the best superhero role-playing game that has ever been put out. But it doesn't meet modern mindsets because it uses a chart. And you throw these, it's called D100, meaning 100-sided dice. It doesn't actually have 100 sides. It has 10 sides. So you have one mark 0 through 9, the other mark 0 through 9. If you throw 2 zeros, that equals 100. If I throw the red one, and that's my 10 dice, I throw a 6, and my 1's dice is a 7, that's 67. Y'all understand? And so you take that 67, you look at the chart, and it tells you got whatever, amazing or incredible hit or whatever it is, right? And so it was really simple. That went pretty quick. And we would play games. We started doing superheroes against superhero, teams against teams. And one team may be Marvel superheroes, the other team may be DC superheroes. And they fighting against each other. It was great. I'd have at the table easily 20 people. And that's a lot for some people. But I've been playing D&D for so long. It wasn't, I could manage it. And we were just doing fights. There was no scenario. People just meeting and fighting, right? With their character. I had a waiting list. People trying to get in. I mean, it was crazy. It was people who never played role-playing games. Man, they seeing that, they can get in, because even people who don't play role-playing games, a lot of people still love superheroes.
Yep.
And I can play the superhero I like. So that was pretty cool. And then from there, but after a while, I'm like, well, I want to get more into the role-play, not just fighting. So then I moved on to other games like Call of Cthulhu. That's procedural. That's investigative. That would be slower. Call of Cthulhu. Top Secret, which is a spy game.
Oh, wow! I forgot about that one.
And then I started realizing, the game's not giving me what I want, because I always gotta manipulate them, because I want games with black folks in it, black scenarios. So then I decided to make my own. I was doing scenarios for different games, and then me and Milton, 2015, I believe, said, hey, we're going to do a role-playing game of our own. What do we want to do? I said, well, let's do our own fantasy world set in a African analog. And we came with the name Chikanga. And we made the countries. I said, let's do 16 countries. Milton didn't know at the time, but the number 16 is sacred to anybody that practices Ifa. Okay, nice. So we had 16 countries. And it looks similar to Africa. Those countries, of course, are big because Africa has 54. So we condensed that down to 16, right? Kind of combined countries that were similar and things of that nature, right? We went with the cards. Second edition is going to, well, it is. I've already written it, really. I got it. That's going to have dice. I've written two versions. One with a full set of polyhedral dice. That means 20-sided, 12-sided, 10-sided, 8-sided, 6-sided, and 4-sided dice. Okay. Right. And then I said, well, we're introducing our people to role-playing games. They don't just have polyhedral dice on deck, but most people have 6-sided dice. So I made a version based on 2-die-6 as well.
Nice.
So now it's just, go back and forth with Milton to decide which one we're going to use.
Okay. Nice.
And then we're doing, me and him are working on the Tonga Safari role-playing game. That'll be out probably 2025. I'm trying to just introduce us. When I say us, I'm talking about our people to role-playing games.
Right.
You ever played a role-playing game, Ball D?
This is my first time playing a role-playing game like this. Like on what's kind of like game systems. You know what I mean?
Right. So game systems, when they say role-playing games, they got that from tabletop role-playing games.
Mm-hmm.
That whole thing, like The Last of Us, that nature.
Yeah, I'll tell you the ones on the game systems, they were slow paced too as well. Like on the early ones, like Sega and like Nintendo and stuff. It's pretty much how you describing. Like there was no live action. It was all like pretty much how you talking until it evolved. Mm-hmm.
Right, and that became palatable to most people because you could play it quicker.
Right.
Play it quicker. And that is what I'm seeking to do with RPGs. Number one, myself, I can't sit for 6 hours and play a 6-hour session. I don't have that kind of time.
Right.
And most people don't have the time to sit down and learn a Bible-sized role-playing game no more.
Right.
It used to be, role-playing games were just basically for people who college students and high school students wasn't doing nothing else. They wasn't raising families. They wasn't doing it. So all they got time to do is just read this big ass book and like my parents didn't mind because I was a big reader, and that's just another book he's reading and into.
Yeah. Yep.
Black folk didn't get affected by the Satanic Panic. So the Satanic Panic came about in 1983. Where I believe it was 83, where white Christians around the world started saying Dungeons and Dragons was a satanic book, and churches were getting together and burning the books. They were sending the children to these camps that would kind of like the camps when they would send the gay children to the camps to make them not gay, supposedly. But they would send them to the camps so they would disavow Dungeons and Dragons.
Wow.
It's crazy as hell.
Do you remember the that made for television movie with Tom Hanks?
Yes, sir. What was it? Mazes and Minotaurs? What the
Yeah,
hell
yeah,
was
yeah. I think it was Mazes and Minotaurs.
Monsters?
Yeah, something like that.
And he went nuts. And he's down in the tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
He think he fighting monsters.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
he killed
yeah.
a couple folks. Thought
Yep.
they were monsters.
And it was all heavy propaganda, but no,
Yeah.
it didn't affect. It didn't affect it. My parents are just like, "Oh, you read it."
In fact, that increased Dungeons and Dragons sales.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Hey, cool." What got people into role playing games again recently is Stranger Things.
Yes.
Dungeons and Dragons, but that and that's the old school way of playing. That was basic and expert Dungeons and Dragons. It wasn't advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Definitely not fifth edition that people play like crazy today. And that really got people interested in role playing games again, right? What I plan to do for the summer. So I want to talk to everybody about their schedules. I want to do. So we have this platform. I mean, we could use it 24/7 every day. So it needs to be used for something else, especially since I'm paying for it every month.
Right.
I want to do, and I planned this before COVID anyway, the Black Gaming Convention.
Nice.
So where we're doing spades, it's going to be at different sessions, right? So spades session, it may be a fifth edition Dungeons and Dragons session if I can get somebody to game master because I'm not doing
it. Yeah.
That a couple of the games I made, a game somebody else made. This game called Button Men, which uses polyhedral dice, but it's like fights between different people using the dice, and it's a pretty interesting game. Just different games, and it could be. So it's going to be people there in person, but also virtual like this.
Nice.
And that was the plan when I announced it right before COVID. They had a huge response, and then COVID hit, so wasn't able to do it. But I think that's going to be the next move.
All right.
In the summer, we can do that. And if you have a game you want to game master or run, it could be a board game.
Okay.
I just had to figure out how I'm going to play spades virtually. But you say what now?
Nah, you inspired me. I might try my hand at creating a game now.
Excellent. Cool. Excellent.
Yeah.
And they actually have a bunch of 1- and 2-page games that are dope.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Because when I first found out, I'm like, how you gonna play a 1- and 2-page page game? And I looked at them and I said, oh, okay, they actually have depth to them.
Yeah.
Have fun with them,
Yeah, I ran a campaign with some children, some elementary school age children with the honey pot. Is that what it's called? That
honey
one?
heist? Honey heist?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
That's dope.
They loved it. They loved it to death. You in this game, if y'all are familiar, you basically play a bear that's got to figure out how to get this honey, and it's only like a 1-page thing. You choose what hat you wear, and it's interesting, but the kids they went bananas with it. They were like, "Oh, a talking bear, like it's right up their alley."
He's doing a heist to get that honey.
Yeah, man, they loved it. But yeah, you're right. Like these 1- or 2-page systems are literally hold up to like the crunchy systems in my experience. Because a lot of the crunchy systems also
So
they
I created a Western game too, but the votes.
I voted for a Western.
And yeah, so people voted for, you can vote for multiple things, but
Okay.
the Western and the post-apocalyptic game with neck and neck.
That's what's up.
When I did, I figured post-apocalyptic would be more appealing to you all and to the audience. But when I did the Western game, it's, I want to say it's 157 pages, but it's 3 pages of rules.
See, there you go. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about the Black West, and I'm just breaking, the lore down.
Yeah. Yep.
3 pages of rules, and that's all you need to be able to play a full game.
That I believe it. I believe it because when I look back on some of these systems and like all the different, rules and stuff, I'm like, this could have been consolidated. This could have been one. Does it have to be 2 different type of dice?
Exactly.
It's the same kind of roll. Like you don't have to have a whole different system to do this activity versus that activity. So yeah.
When people they roll a 20-sided die, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Japan, they had no 20-sided die. They couldn't get them.
Oh,
so
really?
they replaced that with 3 6-sided. Because it's 18 is close, and you make it up on the other side because 3 6-sided you get 3 to 18. 20-sided you get 1 to 20. So it's still pretty close. So they use 3 6-sided, and that taught me that you can do anything you do, most things you can do it with 2 die 6 or 1 die, right? So if I want to have a die 8, I can do 2 die 6 plus 1. That's 2 to 7, or I can do 2 die 6 plus 2, and that gives me 2 to 8.
Right.
So you can do things like that and get very close. And the makeup for it is instead of 1 to something, it's 2 to something. So you can make it up on the front end where you get a higher, lower. As you roll lower, you still start off higher, but so it pretty much evens itself out. You say what now, Bob Wendy?
How many pages was this one?
So this is the Ice Cold RPG is 101 pages if you check, when the books and stuff that you can read and that inspired me and everything, movies. So it's 101 pages. The rules themselves, when you get down to the different styles and stuff like that, if you want to add that, but really the rules go up to the game starts at page 25. It ends at page 27. 2 pages. Right. Then you got other little stuff in there, like when you read certain things, it can lead to other rules, right?
Okay.
And that's why I like to do things. So, like I got in here about zombieism, right? And how you could, what happens when you're zombified and you roll certain dice, and you can become ghoulified and things of that nature. So those things are rules hidden within there. And then if a person doesn't know how to GM, it's new to them. I made it where you can roll the dice and you can generate a villain, or you just look on here and choose.
Okay.
So you can choose a villain. You can it's different what do you call it? Items. I got different villains that I made in here, things of that nature. So you can just make your own, martial art styles are written in here. Some of them are written that aren't so you can make up the rules. Like I got the vulture, water buffalo, and wolf in here, right? Well, those rules aren't there. You can make them up.
Okay.
The names of villains,
Yeah.
different stuff like that. And so as you go through it, so that a lot of that is, we call those oracles, where you can choose or roll and create a whole game. The villains, the place where it takes place, and all of that.
Okay.
So that is Ice Cold RPG. I try to do that with most of the games. Like I said, in introducing us to the games, I want to make it as simple and easy as possible.
Okay.
Like when I first, so we were on Warrior class, I talked about what game could help you as a warrior besides chess, because everybody knows chess, right?
Right.
And so I was in the hospital. I created a role-playing game with Uno cards called, I don't even remember what it was called. But I got out the hospital. Me, Ominiki, and Bile played it on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Bile and neither Bile or Ominiki had ever played a role-playing game.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we're using the Uno cards as the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, this is how, because using strategy, teamwork, that all goes into warriorhood.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, oh man, this is easy. I said, just wait. I was in the hospital doing that one. Just wait. I'm out the hospital now.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see what I can do, right? So, yeah.
That's what's up. I loved it.
Any questions?
Now I'm excited.
You all right, Yomi?
Yeah, just to walk to the bathroom was a lot. With all the extra weight.
Right. Yomi's pregnant, if y'all don't know. That's why.
This whole time we didn't know. Would have had y'all throwing tomahawks and stuff like that if I knew that.
Congratulations.
So, any questions at all?
No, I'm excited for next week. Excited. I'm excited for the whole platform to see it grow and develop and everything in store.
Me too. Yeah.
So.
I was thinking like a year from now, what it's going to look like, what's going to be happening.
Right. Little me is already like jumping right now. Little like 55th grade year old me is like, yo,
I mean,
because I didn't have.
My bad. You still talking.
No, go ahead.
I mean to cut him off.
No, I'm just saying that.
Go ahead.
I'm good. I'm just going to say that, I didn't have the Chicago experience. Like I was the only one at the table.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? When I first started playing D&D. Later when I got older, there were more people at the table. But when I
from where? Connecticut?
Yeah, man. New Haven, yeah. But yeah, so like after it got older, it was more, especially like you said, when I also did a transition into superhero games, and everybody wanted to be down with the superhero games, and the Marvel game too. That was a specific one that was really, really popping when I was in middle school and right in the beginning of high school, and then it just disappeared, Joe. It just disappeared. I heard they tried to bring it back though, but we'll see if they're going to try to bring it back. Like D&D fifth, the crazy style, or if they're going to keep it, simple.
They've made some clones of it.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. Still with the chart and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was working on a version of it that didn't use the chart. Because I want so people don't have to keep looking at the back of the book or whatever for the chart.
Right.
Keep it 100. It's cheaper to print it if you're not using that chart and different colors and stuff. It's cheaper to not use the chart. So I was trying to, find another way. And I think I got it, but it would have to be play tested to make sure it works. What my plan was. Right?
Right.
I hear you. I hear your mind boggling. Do you want to know how long have I played role playing games? Since 1979.
Okay.
Man.
Since 1979. Man. That started with Dungeons and Dragons, 1979. When I started, the white folks refused. They were all playing. So me and my friends were like, you say, well, you mean you and your black friends? Yeah, yeah. Me and my friends, because that's all I had. Even though I went to a school that was mixed.
Mm-hmm.
White folks are playing Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, it was like crazy. Just it was not Dungeons and Dragons. And then at lunch one day, there were like 7, 8 different tables of people at lunch playing Dungeons and Dragons. I said, well, what's this? So my friends, we all standing watching folks. And I asked a friend of mine, I thought he was a friend who was white. He said, excuse me, hey, Lawrence. And yes, I named him. I didn't say his last name. I said, excuse me, Lawrence Smith. And I said, what is that you guys are playing? He said, oh, this is too complex for you guys. Now, we go to a school gifted called Whitney Young.
Mm-hmm.
We go to a school with it. We were in the academic center. And so it's a we don't have middle school in Chicago. So we have elementary, then you go into high school. So in the high school, but we were elementary, it's called the academic center. Excuse me. So I said, it's too complex for you. I said, what? All of them is too complex. So this one white dude decides to make us, named Cody, he decides to make us, I won't say his last name, he decided to make us an experiment. I can train these black dudes to play. You know, I can train multiple games. I can train. He didn't know he was doing that at the time. So he's teaching us. And as we're doing, you know, we're making jokes and stuff like that, and being our black self. And he says, stop all that joking. What did he say? Orc. So he kept calling us.
Oh, no.
Right. And so I said, look, you call one of us orc one more time, I'm going to beat your ass. Right? He looked scared. And one of my friends said, come on, Farrakhan, don't do that. I had never seen Farrakhan in my life at that point. But, you know, I heard, Farrakhan is very black. Blackity black, right? I said, well, I take being Farrakhan, but this fool better not call me an orc again. I'm going to slap shit out of him. Just like that. out in the game. I said, it's just a game, mother. And so I told my sisters. So he closed the book, left us alone. And, they like, man, we want to finish playing and so and so. I said, well, I'm going to get the game, So I talked to my sisters about what happened. They said, what? All right, we got you, we'll get it in, a week or so or something, we can find it. So they told me they couldn't find it. Little did I know, they had bought it for me for Christmas. So, but it wasn't the basic game. They've got me the 3 advanced Dungeons and Dragons books. So, Christmas comes around. I was like, man, maybe I can find the books while we on vacation. Christmas comes, open up something. What's this? I wonder what this is. It's heavy. What is this? And I open, I look. Oh man, advanced Dungeons and Dragons. So I thought, okay, it's basic Dungeons and Dragons. This is advanced. So they're actually 2 different games. The basic Dungeons and Dragons game is a brilliant game. The advanced Dungeons and Dragons game is a brilliant game. They're 2 different games, though, actually. Okay.
Right.
And the reason why Gary Gygax created Advanced Dungeons and Dragons actually is because, so you had basic is Gary Gygax and David Arneson. Their names are on there. They both created that. Gary Gygax wanted to cut out Dave Arneson and just make the money. So he created Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Hmm.
That's just his name.
I didn't know that was the reason why.
Yep, that's the reason why.
Wow. I always wondered why there were two at that early, like literally at that early time.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Okay.
That started a big movement.
Funny.
It started, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons started a huge movement.
Oh yeah.
And back then, and you see Advanced, that automatically makes you think better. It was all a clever move on his part to name it that.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
But I will say it was more thorough. So because Gary wanted to answer all questions, because in basic, most of you leave it up to the game master to create the rule. So it says rulings, not rules. So there are very few rules, and the game master, which is called a dungeon master in D&D, he makes rulings for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Gary just took all those rulings and codified them and put them in books. So you had 3 books. You had the Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, and the Monster. The Monster Manual actually came out first, so you could use that to play the basic. But I never did because I got all 3 books at one time.
Yeah.
And it was...
I didn't even thought about that.
I decided, because the white boy said, several of them, we couldn't... It was too complex for us. And then another white boy talking about with orcs. Orcs are notoriously not intelligent, and they're violent. And so there was a very racist statement he was making. I decided I was going to memorize the Dungeon Master's Guide and the Player's Handbook, and I did over Christmas break. Now my mind, I'm fairly sharp now, but I can't do that shit now, and I don't have the wherewithal to try to memorize no goddamn 200-page book. But back then, you ask me a rule, I tell you where to go, right? And what's funny, after a while, those same white folks were coming to me, asking me where's such and such rule at. Now, when Lawrence came to me, he was my friend asking me where's such and such. I was like, man, go research that shit in your own books. I wouldn't tell him because he told me it was too complex. It was too complex, Lawrence. I can't tell you where to look. Get your ass out here. He probably just sent other folks to ask me. And so when we did our table, it was all black, and I stuck by that until one white person, Thorpe Shanley. Thorpe really wanted to play, and he was very respectful of us. Didn't know much about us. Where he grew up at, Chicago was very racially segregated, but he had respect. And so he started playing with us. He wouldn't play with nobody else. He said, you all are having fun. Other stuff, a friend of mine said, I want to go and, Solomon said, I want to go and see how, white people play it, man. So-and-so, because, the white man's grass is green, his ice is colder, right?
Yep.
He went and played with them. I'm not saying all white people play like this, but the boy he was playing with had them. If you were lawful, you had to speak in a lawful tongue. I mean, literally, while you're playing. If you're chaotic, he had created these tongues. I ain't doing all that shit. And not only did they have to do it in the game, if they wanted to ask him a question outside of the game, if they're like, how you doing today, Roderick, whatever the hell his name was, they couldn't just say it like that. How you doing today? How are my friend, forsooth? Blah, blah, blah. I said, man, y'all sound like some goddamn fools.
That's the Tom Hanks dudes. Those are dudes that would have flipped like Tom Hanks. Right,
exactly. And so Solomon came to me later. He said, man, can I come back? I said, of course. What are you talking about? Of course. I said, I knew you were coming back anyway. When I saw him had y'all speaking in language, and he's like, Roderick, mineth, friendeth. I have a question for thee. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, no.
I said, man, it's too much. in steampunk, me, Milton, Valjean Jeffers, other authors, we created steampunk.
Yep.
Steampunk from a black lens. And people, they were like, "What's the difference?" So I said it's steampunk from a black lens, but also we don't consider this a lifestyle. So I'm not getting up, putting on a goddamn tuxedo and top hat.
Right.
Not doing that. I go to events. If I want to cosplay, I can cosplay. But if not, I'm just wearing African clothes or no. Right. And somebody asked me, they said, is that your costume? African clothes. I said, this is more complex than the costume. I said, that costume you have on, that's from 1893. That costume you have, they're looking like, how do you know that? How? on steampunk clothing. So that's how, dude. So he like, I said, but this here, I said, this was the same in 1410. It's the same in 1510. It was the same in 1610. It was the same in 1910, 1810, 2010, 2015. It'll be the same in 3015.
Right.
Because this is a perfect tailored design. Perfect. That's why it can be used for centuries and it doesn't change. It's not that the people are not complex. African culture is very complex. Anybody who knows, talk with me about it, you know that. It's because, or African martial arts is simple, but in that simplicity, there's so much and so many angles and that you don't have to. I got it. This clothes is for 1987, and this one's for 1990s. Oh no, this thing, if it is fly in 1400 and it's still today, you know how brilliant that is.
Right.
That's brilliant. There's no retro in African culture because it's the same goddamn thing you were dealing with 400-500 years ago.
Right.
So we don't have a retro futurism in that. Right? So coming from that culture, I can't take this stuff as a lifestyle. We're creating stories in it. It's fun.
Right.
But it's a lot of stuff that's fun, And then the other side is, people say, well, Balagoon, it's a martial artist, he can break your neck. What's he doing wearing a top hat? This one brother asked Belay that, right? I said, first of all, tell that MF, I ain't just wearing top hats, sitting around, dude. That's number one. And if we can't be multifaceted, why are we here?
Right.
Why are we here? The brain thought travels 24 billion miles per second. So if the brain is moving at that pace, you know how much that we can do and take into our heads. And if we only do one thing, we're denying ourselves. It could be one thing that you love more than anything else, but damn, I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a brother. That's if I never did anything else. Yomi knows she has multiple names. I have multiple names. You answer to all of them. I remember my sister said to me one time, well, we still call you Adam. I said, good, I'm Adam. I'm Adam. Well, she thought it'd be a problem. I'm Adam. I'm Balogun. I'm Faring Mola. I'm Apun Shegun. I'm all those. And if you call me them, I answer. People say Oga. That means master. I answer to that, right? So our brain can do more than one damn thing. So yeah, I can break your spine. I can dance. I can write role-playing games. I write books, fiction and non-fiction. And all of y'all out there who watching can do the same damn thing. I'm not special. I have no limits on myself. I grew up that way. I was lucky. The parents I had, they grew up in Mississippi. My mother's from Yazoo, Mississippi. little tiny Mississippi, and she called my father a hillbilly. That's our country where he grew up in. He grew up in Warren, Mississippi, right? He'll tell you I ain't had no shoes until I went to the Army. He said only folk that had shoes where I grew up was white folk and he said the preacher and the white man.
Wow.
That's it. So, but if I wanted to do something, do it. And they encouraged me, do it. Right? Because they were more open-minded than most folks who talk about, they parents were professors or some shit. They were open-minded because they wanted their children to experience stuff they didn't. And my father experienced a lot, especially for a country boy. Country boy who didn't wear shoes. He went to the Army at 15, you know what I mean? So you can do whatever you wanna do. And that was one of my motivations for making this show, to show Black Africans playing RPGs, right? That's making a statement. It's making a huge statement, that because people don't, what? Playing RPG, Black, but we play that. Yep, we play it, and we have our own flavor in how we play it, and that's simple.
I would imagine
If you hear me talking about forsooth and all that shit, I done lost my mind. Or I'm pretending to be Thor. That's how he talks, forsooth.
Right.
You say what?
I said I'd imagine it'd be probably more fun when you face to face. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. When you can get together with folks, because you're playing, you're eating snacks.
Right.
The older you may be having a drink.
Right.
Like you playing, it's a lot of fun,
Yeah.
Talking smack, joke. It's just, when I was in college at Howard, I went from Howard to Columbia. But at first I was at Howard, and some friends of mine who I met in one, there's actually a Netflix documentary about him. Ford was murdered, and there's a documentary about that. He's from New York, but he's one of the people who inspired me to start playing again. Well, GMing again. I was playing, but I wasn't being a dungeon master. I had the games with me at Howard in a trunk, the bottom of a trunk. And we were just talking, and he was talking about how he used to play quite a bit. Because I went to a game that somebody else was dungeon mastering, and we were talking. I said, "Now I've been playing this since I was 12, 11." So he, what? We started talking. I said, "Yeah, I used to dungeon master." He said, "Hey man, do it again, so we can." Get in the game with you. I'm telling him about what I did, and my games are always set in Africa. He said, "Let's do it." So I met with them. I didn't think they were serious, really that serious. So I'm like, okay, you see a room, it's got a jewel in it. So what do you do? What's up? He said, "Man, now do this shit like you would do. Do this shit." So I'm breaking down the scenario for them and everything, man, painting the picture in their mind what it looks like, and like, oh shit. So we were playing and having so much fun with that, man. And that's what got me really picking it up again, right? And then after college, life comes into play.
Yeah.
During college, at 19, I had a baby. And so my daughter, Yao Ming, so that will slow you down. You ain't got time. And then I went to the Army. Didn't have in the Army. She was born while I was in the Army. You ain't got time to, baby. Then I got out and went to another job that I won't speak on. Job took me away from it and shit, and dealing with so much violence, and so life got in the way. But I always wrote short stories, things of that nature. I wanted to write a novel, just scared and didn't think it was affordable, right? My sister paid for me for a gift for my birthday to go to this writer's retreat. And at the writer's retreat, I'm looking at these books that people write, they wrote 10 books, 15 books, 5, 2, and most of them were terrible.
Yes, sir.
I said, God damn, if they can write a book, I can do it. That's what inspired me to. So I wrote Moses, the Chronicles of Harriet Tubman. But I'm like, how am I going to get this published? So first I went to a friend of mine, Nicole Kurtz. Well, we're friends now. She was a publisher. And she said, this is the best steam punk book I ever read. I looked at my wife and said, it's a name for what I write, So that was my journey into steampunk. And afterwards, she published the first book in that. I expanded the book and realized, okay, Amazon is now doing, well, it wasn't Amazon, it was Kindle. It was separate from Amazon. Now it's owned by Amazon. They were allowing you to publish books. I said, oh, snap. I can publish this shit. All I gotta do is pay an editor and an art for the cover. I ain't gotta try to go through giving it to a company and they either reject my book or accept it. If they accept it, it's gonna be 4 years when it come out. I can do this myself. And that, boy, that the floodgates open then. And so writing the first book I wrote actually was not Moses. It was a martial art book called Discovering African Martial Art, Discovering the World Within. Then I brought out Moses, right? So, and then I said, okay, I'm going to do nonfiction and fiction. And then I said, wait a minute. I can now create role-playing games and publish them. So me and Milton were talking. Let's do Kikonga. Boom, let's do it. And now that the initial fear of doing it is gone, I just do whatever.
Nice.
And so that led to it. I hope that inspires y'all, the audience, to do that. Whatever you want to do it. As long as it's of good.
Was Kikonga the first one officially, or did you make
that
one?
was the first role-playing game. So Kikonga had, like I said, a version that had no random generator, and I did 2 of those versions. I'm trying to figure out what's going to be the hottest thing, right? So in middle morning, I said, well, we're going to do cards. So I said, okay, what card systems are Black people into? Because that was my major thing. Okay, if we're going to use cards, I want something that's familiar. And I tried to do it with spades. That's impossible. Impossible. My mind couldn't wrap around it. I don't want to say it's impossible because somebody may do it. And I'll be like, damn. My mind couldn't wrap around spades, how it would work for role-playing. I tried pity pat. I tried Tom. I tried poker. Poker was just too long and boring for a game. I like poker, but it's too long and boring for a role-playing game. And I hit on blackjack. I said, simple. You got to get the numbers, up to 21, but don't go over. The highest you can get closer to 21, but don't go over. Well, that's also used when you roll dice. Some games you go as high as you can, but just don't, like the roll under games.
Right.
And a roll under game is like the black hack. If you all look that up, you roll under, like your character is, say if you got strength, your strength is 15. You got to roll under 15.
Right.
You get as close to 15 as you can. That's what you want to do. But if you go 16, well, you busted. Same way like blackjack. So I said, I can use blackjack. And that's what we did. Use a version of blackjack for the mechanics. People didn't even realize they were using blackjack. A dude tried to argue with me about the thing. And I said, man, I'm using mechanic that existed before dice existed. That's really arrogant. That's arrogant to say that. I said, I'm using blackjack, dude. Oh, yeah. I said, but Gary, not Gary Gygax, he used rollover, but I said the game the Black Hat uses a blackjack system with dice, man. It's roll under. So in England, the most popular game was a game called Rune Quest. It was more popular than Dungeons and Dragons. It's roll under. See, so people have long taken card mechanics and turned them into dice, and dice into card mechanics. So
that's nice.
Was you attempting to make any before Kikonga, or just like, just on some?
Nah, just making scenarios for like Dungeons and Dragons and superhero games. That was something I thought was too complex, man.
Okay.
Beyond me, and it's not. You just have to have the confidence. Confidence can bring out whatever your talents are.
Indeed.
If you don't have the confidence, you never try the thing that you feel in your heart you could do, and then you start just telling yourself you can't do it.
Right.
And that's what I started doing. I can't make no road, man. Dang, that's But I'm like, God damn it, Gary Gygax ain't no better than me.
Right.
Nah. And some of the stuff he did, he dropped the ball on. You look back on some of those things, like,
some of it made no sense. It was so crazy the way and discombobulated and disjointed the way he did. And so that's why they made these different retro clones, and they cleaned up stuff that he did.
Right.
And I did an article. People, he created the first role-playing game. He did not. He created the first commercial role-playing game. In Africa, they have a game. I'm going to try to find the article. I'll send y'all that article that I wrote, because I started researching and found, I said, this has to exist before Gary Gygax. It's just too brilliant.
Right.
In Africa, they have a game that teaches character, and you use a character. Teaches character, and you're doing it exactly that. You're playing a certain character.
Wow.
And it's teaching lessons of character. Man, and so I wrote that article. People were like, what? Yeah. Yeah.
Is that article on your Chronicles of Harriet?
No.
Okay.
It was in my Chronicles of Harriet website, but I let Chronicles of Harriet go. But I still got most of those articles. I'm gonna see if I got it on my computer. The computer I really had on exploded, but I had it in. Thank God, one of my students got me an external hard drive. Right.
Oh yeah, those are necessary, necessary.
So I think I put it on there, so I'm gonna check, and I'll send it to y'all.
Yeah, definitely.
Y'all ever heard of Final Fantasy?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was my joint.
Was my first time ever hearing anything about like RPG. You know what I mean? RPG game, because I was back then. I was probably like elementary school or something when that was out. So I don't know.
Man, I played several Final Fantasy games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell you. Be at the house. So yeah, it's like you're going on these adventures, and shit. I'm trying to put it down, but hey, I got to get to this next part because such and such.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That one right there evolved. Can you see these types of RPGs evolving in a way to where it would match that game's evolution in terms of like the fluidity, or like what's the word? Maybe like I don't know the word I'm looking for.
Well, I understand. I'll tell you, in all truth, tabletop role-playing games trump video games. The thing is, video games, because the visual, it gets people. Like in a movie. But the reason why tabletop role-playing games trump them, a video game, you're limited by what the people who created they only did so much with that. They'll say it's a sandbox world. You go here and here and here, but here and here and here are still finite. What you can do with a role-playing game is infinite.
Okay.
And it's so powerful because it's not just my creativity that comes in, it's all of you all too.
Because
we're creating the game as we go. It's a living game. It's and you can take in fact, I tell you who did it. George R. R. Martin, he took his game, well, they played this scenario in it's called, I think it's called Super World. When I talk about Rune Quest, it's similar to Superhero. Their campaign, him and his friends.
Yeah.
He took their campaign and turned that into a book series called Wild Cards.
That was my joints, yo. You know, it wasn't until years later. I'm talking about years later. I was in high school when I read it. And years later, I found out that it was a role-playing game campaign.
It was
I was like, are you kidding me?
I could take this campaign and make an Ice Cold Carter book. I'll be right back.
It's funny. He said that, like, I could take this campaign and make an Ice Cold Carter book. I'll be right back. He'll come back. He's like, and this is the book right here.
What's that word you used earlier when he said the game was slow actioned? It was a word y'all use. I'm trying to think of.
I'm trying to think.
But you know what I'm talking about when it's
what?
Because they was like, you had to make it something if you use the crunchy.
Oh, crunchy. That means you got mad rules. Mad rules. Okay. So like the version of Dungeons and Dragons out right now, it has so many rules. Like it literally takes like a good hour and a half to make a character.
Wow.
Just to make the character. So you know the byproduct that happens from that. If I take an hour and a half to make a character, I don't want you to kill him. So you know what I'm saying? So the game, I think, kind of like loses something from it because the people invest a lot in that character, right? So like they try to only play games where their character isn't fully in danger or fully going to get killed. Or the other thing is just like, if you got that many rules, man, everybody ain't reading that. It ain't happening. Everybody in the group is not reading that. That's not going down. It's to the point that like there's some games like, and I love playing role playing games, but there's some systems I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not playing that. It's too much. That's a class. That's a class. It's like, do I get credit for it? Can I put this on my resume? You know what I'm saying?
I don't have patience, or I probably didn't have the patience, because even when I first found out about that game back then, Final Fantasy, and I played it, I was like, man, what is this? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, where's the
this is the book right here.
Look. See, I told you.
Now this is actually Ice Cold Carter, Who Killed Craig. So I started to make this game actually based off of this story.
Okay.
Right? There could be a whole nother game based off of the book Ice Cold Carter. I can make a whole nother campaign.
That's right.
So it's just a matter of expanding your mind and doing it.
Yeah.
True.
So I guess we'll cut it here if there are no questions. If you got,
I do have one question. You said in the summer you want to do this con. In the summer when? Because she will be born by July 7th.
Well, my plan was like really late May or early June.
Okay.
You should hold out to the 18th.
By July, it's gonna be too goddamn hot.
I heard that July 18th is an auspicious day that you should hold off to.
Oh, jump! It's your birthday.
It's my birthday.
Oh, cool.
That's way past my due date. I don't think I can hold off.
It's like, nah, I'm trying to get in and out. Let's go.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Man. Cool. So, yep. Let me see. Today is Tuesday.
Just don't do it like the Memorial Day weekend.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
So
gonna
you
check.
be in competition. Well, I have my baby shower on the 28th, but MomoCon's that same weekend.
Yeah. So the summer are cons, so I'll be checking for sure for that. I don't want to clash with that. I used to always get invited to cons, you know, to be a attending professional, special guests and stuff like that. But I took 2 years away from doing anything with science fiction and fantasy. I was making games, but I could not stomach. I couldn't stomach it no more, man. It was interesting. So I was still Milton would say, "Hey, we're doing this anthology. I want you to write a story." I do that because that's my friend.
Right.
Other than that, I wasn't even watching science fiction and fantasy shows. I couldn't do it. It was during the pandemic, but you know, also during the pandemic, I was providing security for certain folks and doing different stuff. So I'm right in the mix of all of the violence and what was going on. You know what I mean? And were you on the assignment with us, Balagundi, when we went through the neighborhoods securing these different folks?
No, I was in Baton Rouge.
Well, you in Alabama or
Pandemic,
Baton Rouge or something,
Baton
right?
Rouge when,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so there was a lot that was on my mind, and I was just like, man, every time I try to do something with science fiction and fantasy, I get nauseous.
Damn. Wow.
The role-playing games, I can still do them. It was interesting, but like writing science fiction and fantasy, watching a science fiction and fantasy movie and things that I used to enjoy, couldn't do it. So when people started getting back together doing cons and stuff, I was still in that mindset.
Wow.
So I'm like, no, I want to, you know, and then I created the character Ice Cold Carter, and it was funny. And he's a martial artist, and so that allowed me, I could, you know, I still dealing with humor because you need humor, you just go insane with so much crazy shit in the world, right? And so I wrote Ice Cold Carter Who Killed Craig. I wrote Ice Cold Carter Dating Tips. I wrote Ice Cold Survival. I wrote them, so I was in Ice Cold Carter and role playing games only. Now I'm slowly getting back to it, really with this. So that's why I said, well, Western and post-apocalypse are neck and neck. Post-apocalypse, I can get into creating the lore back into science fiction and fantasy.
Right. I see that.
And so that's why really, to be 100% honest. And so I'm looking at it like, okay, I can start writing science fiction and fantasy stories again.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was literally like, oh God, sick. So, you know, shit, the world is fickle. So with me being away from it for 2 years, they ain't inviting me to cons and stuff no more, you know. But it's cool. I make my own cons.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Which we did anyway with Blacktastic Con, right? So, you know, I'm cool with it. Eventually, I'm 55, so if they invite me to cons again as I begin to write, it's cool. You know, I look at Milton older than me, so I think I can still, you know, go to a con. But even after cons, man, I would have to decompress because I'm around. I don't want to sound just like, you know, racist and shit, but it's true. I have to decompress being around them so much, man. I'm around them for a 3-day con, like, God damn it. And you know, I'm selling my books. I'm smiling. And I went to one convention in Seattle, Washington. I was an invited guest.
Oh Lord.
She flew me out there and everything. She was great. The sister flew me out there. But my sister, the woman who flew me out there, right? and Seattle's interesting too, because the black people there, I had a black driver, and she was like, "Hey, I could take you to this wedding here." She couldn't understand why I wanted to be hanging out around these white folks, right? I take you to the wedding. I said, "Well, I'm scheduled to be at this thing." She said, "Well, it's right across in another building across from where you're going to be." So I'm in this African wedding, enjoying it.
Yeah.
I go over there, and as I'm through with my panel, I go back over to the wedding, and the people there were so loving. There's a whole different energy there, because it's not that many black folks. So the black folks there, everybody just loving you.
That's nice.
It doesn't matter where you from, Africa, South America, America. If you're black, man, it's such a bond. It was great. So I'm there though. On the date, we selling our books. And a woman comes over. She said, "I like that book." I said, "Okay, cool." So I give her the book. She said, "Sign it for me, monkey."
No. That didn't happen.
Yes.
That didn't happen.
I said, "God damn it, give me the book back." I snatched the book. She said, "Can I have my money?" It was sold to for $10. I said, No. $10, I'm keeping it. So she goes down and tells another dude selling that I kept her $10. I look down at him. I'm like, "I take his $10. God damn it. You're paying this reparations for you calling me a monkey."
Right.
God damn. And if you were a dude, I'd whoop your ass and take your money. So yeah, she said, "Sign it for me, monkey." And then she said, like laughing like that's funny.
No.
She's out of her goddamn mind. And I was the only black person selling in there. And that's why she felt bold enough. But that's why I have to decompress from that kind of shit, man.
Yeah. Because also in areas, I'll speak on Portland. There's a certain type of black person here who would have laughed with her.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, it's very interesting here. I'm just saying in Portland. I don't want to get all this online or everything, but it is what it is. There's definitely different types here. I found the type I'm supposed to be with, so I'm good right now. But when I first got here, I was very confused because I'm just like, I'm not doing that.
You moved to Portland for work?
Long story. My brother was in Southern Oregon. He's the Shakespeare dude in my family, so they have like the largest Shakespeare whatever in the world festival thing down there. So he got a job teaching everything down there. During the fires of 2019, I was actually moving to California. That was going to be my big plan. That he got caught in the fires and lost everything. His whole apartment burned down. So I stopped in Portland to help him. Right. I'm from the Northeast, so I'm thinking that it's it's close. Man, between Portland and was in Ashland, you can go. It takes it's like 8 hours or something. And I was like, man, I can go through 4 states.
Right.
I can go from Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, all through that in that time. And then on top of it, they don't have dedicated service. So there's not there's a Greyhound every once in a while, but there's no connection. So yeah, I just kind of ended up here, and it was the beginning of the pandemic. Wow. So I kind of just got locked into this place. I mean, things turned around now. I got this great new job now. I'm literally in the neighborhood where I work at is the most diverse neighborhood in all of Oregon.
Wow.
So it's 17 plus languages here. I manage this urban garden here that services the community. So it's 80 plots, all community owned, different family. You walk in there, someone speaking Swahili, Spanish, Eritrean. So I'm in my element now. So I'm loving it. So it turned out good. But at first I was like, "Oh, you got to be joking me! This is like the Twilight Zone." You know what I'm saying? And not the new version.
Wow.
The old literally black and white version.
Now, when I came here, I was shocked because, of course, coming from Chicago, they call this the Black Mecca.
Right.
And I came down. I'm like, the culture gonna be popping in Atlanta, boy. Boy, the culture gonna be popping. I came down here, man. What up? Shout at mine. So shout hey. I'm like, what the hell? What a museum, man. I don't know what it was in. In fact, I came down. It's a street called Ponce de Leon, right? But in French, it's Ponce de Leon.
Right.
So I asked his brother. It was hilarious. I said, "Hey, brother, where's Ponce de Leon?" He said, "What?" I said, "Ponce de Leon." He said, "Man, Sean, I don't know where that's at, Sean." He said, PONCEDELEON. He said, "Oh man, that's Ponce de Leon."
Ponce de Leon.
He said, "You talking about some Ponce de Leon?" He said, "Man, that's Ponce de Leon." I said, "Oh shit, I'm sorry." Like, you can't come down here talking all fancy, dude. So I'm
Lord. That just lets you know you got to bring it wherever you go until you discover it. You got to bring it with you. You know, wherever you go.
So down here, the one thing you can do, like Chicago, you got to go through red tape to have a business. You got to know somebody.
Right. Yeah.
You can just goddamn do a business here.
Oh, that's great.
You want to do a business? Do a business.
That's
you got to have the money to get the place, do your own business, right? It's easy as pie down here to do. Ain't no red tape.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. And of course, if you from like being from the Northeast and Chicago, you can't easily just carry around firearm.
Nope.
Here,
no way.
a firearm with ease, and in fact, now you don't even have to have a goddamn license.
That's next level, yo.
Just go buy it.
You just go buy that mug and walk around with it.
That's crazy because literally everybody, and I know a few people down. I know quite a few people down there, and every single one of them are strapped. Even those who I know are the most peaceful. You know, they got it.
Because you can't. Now, there's a city. We're gonna close out after this, but there's a city down here. I believe it's Norcross. To live in that city, you have to have a firearm. You got to be strapped to live in that city.
Wow.
That's, only in Georgia. Like, damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's easy as hell. But, all right. So, get ready for next week, y'all.
As much as we can. As much as we can, because I sure wasn't ready for no Molar Mouth person to be jumping out with stones, but I'll be as ready as much as I can be.
Right.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all be safe.
All right.
Sir.
All right, peace.
Peace.